Goals. Will be a bit me as go. When you have players who are proven and have shown a lot of quality on both sides, you expect goals. Also, Madrid more money can win. But for me, Robert Lewandowski and Vinicius are the main threat for both sides. Madrid will be in trouble. El Classico Basso the Santiago Bernabeu Stadium on Sunday 2:15 p.m. A lot of people have reservations about the Classico. Now, I've heard a lot of argument. Say Classico now became the biggest club game in world football after River Plate and then the Boca Juniors. And to be a can say, gone are the days there were a lot of stars, there were a lot of prima donnas. I know Mujim. And back in the days, you talk about Zinedine Zidane, Ronaldo, Figo, Raul, you talk about Roberto Carlos and Ike Casillas Fernandez. On the Barcelona front, you talk about Thierry Daniels, Ronaldinho de Assis Moreira Gaucho, you talk about Samuel Eto'o and then Anderson Deco de Souza. These were great players. I know we say account for both sides. But let's not forget, game will not take a different trend and are moving from different era to different generation, and this is the setup that we have for today. So we share both sides now. In as much as he raises concerns about the quality and the prima donnas of the side, we have Karim Benzema and Chekra, likely something for being named as the next Ballon d'Or. You were around here, your friend Lewandowski, FIFA best no Jimmy, and one of the candidates again for the Ballon d'Or. And when you have these two great players for both sides, it tells you the standard and how Classico say this here. We also have exceptional talent within the squad. Now, being who are there, Vinicius Junior here in the last season in the Champions League, and how Ousmane Dembele, after deducting a certain percentage from his salary, the performance now is ready to the bar, and we have Pedri and Eduardo Camavinga. For both sides, I almost try to say, almost me show the staff and the quality that they made of on Sunday. So we show both sides now. Madrid never home into medical the Madrid team now. So we show Madrid team now. We show impose they have Andre Loren. Courtois, whom for me was the best goalkeeper in the world last season. And then 1 year injury into this season, in the last few games for Madrid, our anti-friend Andre Loren in that pool. Not a top class goalkeeper, but at least also he the best because what not unfortunately for Madrid, social games are done and saying Arabia concede. And it has really showed he cannot assure you that stability, that class, that top blank saves, and that excellent anticipation I'll be here from a good goalkeeper. But at least what's next with the standard of the Classico and you give it to him. For me, he will be the weakest link for the Madrid setup. On Madrid defense now, Cavallal in here introduction, Mendy here introduction. You talk about the two centre backs, I'm gonna wear Juma Yepa and a Juma Ben Omoye. The inability and the work to stop Robert Lewandowski. Lewandowski is a goal machine, one of the top goal targets in the AF football. And in Barcelona game, no more born and I boy Javier say, Uncle Yan Farmer and crowd, the two goals to do to me, my FC friend in Barcelona. David Alaba and the teammate into the movement and the positional sense of Lewandowski to deal with. But can you stop Lewandowski? That will be the headache. The dressing room for Madrid. Midfield, then you talk about Aurelien Tchouameni. Madrid are losing for me the best bodyguard that I've seen in football. He get the job done in Casemiro. And Omdi Tchouameni, who has a different profile. This is a volunteer or a defensive midfielder as against a Tchouameni or a central midfielder. It's two different profiles, but Tchouameni tries to obey me about the bodyguard Cruz and then Luka Modric in midfield. Into ono and a spotlight in Abedana. So the first Classico was disaster and Koyan Famano. Can he make amends because he's one player that the French national team is looking up to at the World Cup? This is a big threat for him and Obeshe, so bet me read the money image from the first game. Now, come it for Toni Kroos, the Newcastle wasted time on Modric. And up front, Karim Benzema in form. The last 3 games, Obama River don't team in Shegu. And again, was some mistake penalty from the last game in the Spanish La Liga. Into the workload in Aqua Abranti FN Vinicius Junior and then Rodrigo goals. So far Vinicius Barcelona and Real Madrid one player I know I target the Vinicius and it will be who that battles on the right, Ronald Araujo. Unfortunately, Ronald Araujo is not available and is not a player to stop Vinicius. So only what there, Sergio Roberto Nebeba doesn't have that patience, that timing, that excellent anticipation, and that decision making to stop the runs, to stop the pace, to stop the effectiveness and the tricks and the flicks. Vinicius Junior Nebeba. And then he comes in with a creative spark and obeying with the number of goals on the kind of game. And the moment of best step of foot on the field, defenders struggle to stop him. Barcelona, and they need to work so well to stop Vinicius. So also on the other side, you are talking about Rodrigo goals. Rodrigo so cast in the mode of Vinicius, very direct, very pacey, very clinical, very effective. And also the Bema on the right. Now who baby will be free, but I don't about Benzema, not the ball about to them. Unfortunately for Barcelona, on defense, then a lot of mischief this season. And you need say Hodi Abba Nebebo, say Bard Nebebo, say Marcos Alonso Nebeba, and not show how Barcelona are struggling for a better setup for the game against Real Madrid on Sunday. That is it for Barcelona. For Luka Modric, Toni Kroos there, obeying in their level, their class, and what you expect from them, and the level of experience when it comes to this particular game. But the midfield of Barcelona and so are there back one. Are very young, very energetic, but again, the ability to recover and yet suspect, especially Sergio Busquets, Sabone Fenfin. So for Barcelona on the other hand, almost form the Korea scoring goals for fun. But in the last few games, so I show man, form another pokakra into check their last game on boy. Now be check the last game that they played against a team friend Inter Milan. Into more thing at the Barcelona. The team is predictable on paper, the team is predictable, and so your coach that's all very kakrabia. Almost struggle on the field of play. In the end, you who say no, you score the A training kakra. When so like so, but say you score the badia, then obviously Jira Piqué beko bench. So that is another solidity, another pacey, and another effective centre back to pair Eric Garcia. Eric Garcia or still or your weakest link, but at least Oberman of that stability, I'm an image Miyako. On the right is going to be Sergio Roberto. That is another area Barcelona best struggle if Madrid decide to go in for a typical counter-attacking game. Now in midfield, that is where the issue comes in. Gavi, Pedri, Busquets. But at least, now say who came against Madrid? They say so more to me bopa and the attack of Rafinha and then Dembele pace and the movement. The only problem is the decision making in the final third. And only at the Aka, but Robert Lewandowski is always a threat. He's always a goal machine. Just a split-second decision, just a mistake or error about the defensive side of Madrid, will take your opportunity at the atom. Medical raising concerns about Madrid, goalkeeping, and have raised concerns about the midfield of Barcelona. But Javi one trick or the other air Classico, so be a shredder. The pressing scheme. Don't give space. Don't allow them to possess. Don't allow them to recycle. Don't allow them to reconstruct. And only Vinema or Dikra because when him say, "Who allow Luka Modric to more reconstruct here, break." And for me, that will be the trick for a coach FN Xavi Hernandez. Maka Lewandowski there, Maka Dembele there, Karim Benzema is another player that we are expecting him to live up in this particular game. But it's a tall order for him based on his form. It is Vinicius against Robert Lewandowski. Whoever gets his day is likely to triumph on Sunday. But Madrid playing at home, Barcelona recent form, the pressure that is coming up after the Champions League, Omobeko as underdogs in this particular game, hoping say Omobetimi as Real Madrid the Bernabeu. Madrid are not in the form of their life, but I think they have personalities, they have quality, and they have players to decide this particular game for them. Pedri is another player in midfield. They also Madrid more money kon huye. But for me, Robert Lewandowski and Vinicius are the main threat for both sides. So Barcelona team have that confidence. No more players say game, no more take control. Madrid will be in trouble. But if Madrid decide to sit back, close the spaces, use Vinicius Junior as the target man and Benzema as the focal pointer. That is where you expect Madrid. So I'm beating ABB in this particular game. One thing for sure, and Madrid and Barcelona game. They are goals. We say you have fewer goals in certain games, but I still think when you have these attacking trading for both sides, when you have players who are proven and have shown a lot of quality for both sides, you expect goals in those sides. And again, these are not coaches that are compact, coaches that sit deep, coaches that make sure they shut up shop and hit you on the break. Until I'm expecting goals in this particular game. It's a game that I'm expecting both sides So be a bit me go. But because it is the Bernabeu, Barcelona also have BBB. They don't have Courtois. But I think the recent personalities, the confidence of Madrid team, no, almost started this particular game as favorites.